Well, there's nothing like a good story, and my two guests are here to tell their story about the upcoming spring edition of Untold Stories. Joining me is the event's artistic director and host, Barbara Colaciello. Hey, Barbara. Babs.
Hi. Morning.
And one of the featured storytellers, Mary Strickland. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So, Barbara, this is the third season
Yes.
of Untold Stories. For listeners who may not be familiar with the series, briefly describe just what it's about.
4 times a year, we bring together 6 storytellers from Jacksonville. And the idea is for them to tell their lived experience and how it connects to Jacksonville. My job of casting, trying to find a diverse group of storytellers and trying to hit all the neighborhoods, get people listening to what is happening and what has happened and how Jacksonville, the place, has affected their journey. And the Florida Theater is the one that is producing it, and they feel it's a great way to bring people together over story. And it's not a lot of fanfare. It's just the people up there sharing what, has happened.
Yeah. And this, you have kind of loose themes that people tell around. So this is theme is spring.
Spring.
Yeah.
And it's so different. The stories are so different than fall than the last time, Yeah, it's been fun working on spring.
So what is your favorite kind of story?
I love them all. So I can sit through something that's really dramatic. I look for stories that bring me there. I teach that. Like, I want to go into the room, into the space with the person. So I love when people take me on the journey. Of course, I think in every situation, I love when people still can find the humor or the irony. I think that that happens when you have more time to reflect back on what happened to you. The story evolves, and you can just hear it in the telling.
Mary, you have done some interesting work with incarcerated women. And
Yes, that's true.
I'm curious. So you are a writer. Storytelling is a little different. How do you come to it?
Well, actually, I've been working with Women Writing for a Change, writing my own stories. And as you said, we used to work at the Community Transition Center in the jail, and we used to do the same program for the women there. And it was a lot of fun because they get to tell their stories. So I would read my stories out loud sometimes, and people would laugh. And someone said, you should maybe go over to Bab's lab and see what they're doing over there. So I went over to Bab's lab. I saw a story slam for the first time, and I thought, you know what? I want to try that. And so after a lot of thinking about it, I hopped up there and told a story, and it was just so much fun.
And you describe yourself as coming from an Irish Catholic family, fairly boisterous bunch of people.
Yeah, so I'm from a large family, 6 kids, and so a lot of the stories I tell are about my family, about my brothers and my mom, and we had 6 kids in 9 years, and it was a lot of rowdy kids. So there are a lot of good storytellers in my family as well.
So what are you going to be talking about at this upcoming Untold Stories?
Well, this particular one, I'm going to be talking about a specific job situation in Jacksonville. I don't want to reveal too much about it, but I have been here for quite a while, and I've worked here, so I'm going to talk about that.
Okay. So it sounds like, Mary is a little bit more of a natural, Babs, in terms of being a storyteller that comes with that gift. But typically when you're dealing with somebody who's done some writing, how do you coach them into being a performance reader or a storyteller?
It's a process, and they have to be kind of committed to it. But I'm working with a new group right now. In fact, some of them are stand-up comics. They're writing their material, and it's all about embodied storytelling. Someone was in her routine. She's talking about, she's driving the car, she's picking up her son, and the way she's standing on the stage, she's very relaxed, and I said, no, I want to see you in the car. You're sitting in the car, you have a steering wheel, and see your son. Like, make the image, put us there. So it's getting people out of their head and into their bodies, and we're just not used to being trained, to use our bodies.
Yeah.
It's everything's from the neck up.
Right.
So,
what do you do with your hands?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, once your hands, the gestures, we do movement, we do machines, we work with gesture, what gestures mean Some people do nervous gestures and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So learning how to stand in your power, just going to your breath, simply standing there is scary. And so you have to practice. It's like you go to the gym or you do yoga. Being a really good communicator, you have to take the steps.
Wish we could talk really all day. I mean, I love talking to you about the storytelling work that you're doing, but this upcoming event is Thursday, May 30th at 7:30
Yes.
at the Florida Theater.
Yes.
Right.
And the last one, fall, the Florida Theater always puts out a survey. And the response, the quotes we got back made me really happy. And so many people responded. So people are enjoying it.
It's a huge success. Well, Barbara Colaciello, Mary Strickland, thank you
Thank
both
you.
so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.